Alrighty, good evening everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Welcome to everyone around the country who's tuned into our live stream this evening. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint. I'll be spending the next probably about 50 minutes or so with you going through our presentation, telling you what the opportunity is about, what this business is all about and who we are. After the presentation, you're welcome to come speak to me, ask me any questions that you might have. Okay, so let's begin. As you can see, DuePoint is a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. That's their building in the background. That's the branding that they use. We were founded in 1952, so we've been around for a very long time. Played very much a foundational part in creating the insurance industry in South Africa. The FSP number that we operate under is that one that you see over there, 31111. You'll notice in our foyer above the water cooler and on our website, we've got all our financial services board licenses on display for you to take a look at. So we've got a long and short-term insurance license, we've got an investment license, and we've got our FSP license. So go take a look at those. Those are fairly important. That's our stamp of credibility. I imagine everyone here this evening, or at least our guests, need to trust the business before you make any decision about it. And so I hope that lends to our credibility. We listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange under a group called Conduit Capital, so you're welcome to go do a background check on us and those businesses. The management and executives are these individuals up on screen. The first three characters are registered chartered accountants in South Africa. Mr. Brendan Benfield is our senior executive. He heads up this division. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because he grew up in a family where his father was a professor of insurance. Dr. Brian Benfield taught at Wits for 25 years. He founded Clientele Life. I think it was in the 90s. He founded the IFA. They've started businesses in Europe. Similar to this, they've helped found businesses in Australia along the lines of financial services. And so they've had a lot of success in financial services, particularly in insurance. Brendan and his brother, Stuart, they followed in their father's footsteps. They went on to found Prime Meridian Direct, or PMD, which is a short-term insurer based down the road from us. They're not even 10 years old. I think they're the fourth biggest short-term insurer in the country already. So we're very lucky to have Brendan heading up this division. Tim and Stacey, they look after the auditing and the accounting, financial, the regulatory aspects of our business. Very important, but it sounds very boring. I'm glad I didn't become an accountant. Tim is fairly experienced in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group for about 15 years in a fairly senior position there. He reports directly to the CEO. Stacey, she's been working in auditing all her career. She was with Deloitte. She worked here as well as overseas in Luxembourg before she came back to South Africa and joined the team here. And then the two non-accountants, Jane and myself. So Jane's here this evening with me. If you've spoken to her or heard her speak out, you'll hear that she's got a bit of an accent. That's because she's from York in the UK. But she brings very important experience to our team, international experience with regards to network or referral marketing. Because even though we're an insurance company, our growth is very much dependent on our ability to work in the network marketing space. And so Jane's experience is fundamental to us. And then myself, I've been working in advertising, since the mid-90s. I know I only look 25, but looks are deceiving. So I've been in advertising pretty much all my career. I ran my own digital agency fairly successfully for about 15 years, but I left that business about 3 years ago to join the team here at DuePoint. So that's us. Our mandate as staff of DuePoint is to support everybody that joins us in this business. So we want to see you as profitable and as effective as possible, because as a business we can only be profitable if you guys that are collaborating with us are being just as effective and profitable. And so everything in our business, everything is geared towards seeing you guys supported in this endeavor. So know that our doors are open. We are always here to support you. We have personal meetings with the people involved in this business. We want to support you as much as we can. So that's a bit of background on the business and on us. Very briefly, I like to pay cognizance to the circumstance that we find ourselves in. I'm being criticized sometimes. Oh, why do you spend time on the slide? It's so negative. You can see it's going to be a negative slide because it starts with that 4-letter word up there, right? And I know how much we all love debt because we're all heavily indebted. Can you even remember the last time you weren't in debt? I think I was still in matric. Right? The moment I left school, became indebted and still indebted to this day, 20 years later. So if we look briefly at what personal finance looks like for the majority of South Africans, I think this is really the reason. Our circumstance is the reason that you're here this evening. Because if your salaries were alone the solution to all our financial problems, you wouldn't be here this evening. I think the circumstance forces people to look for something extra, right, to help remedy your financial situation. And it's certainly becoming worse for South Africans, because we see, with regards to the rate of inflation in South Africa, food inflation, the cost of living that's rising every year, and the fact that salaries aren't keeping up with that inflation. That's really where the problem begins. So you'll feel it in your pocket at the end of every month. You'll think, oh, well, groceries are getting more expensive, but why am I not keeping up? It's because you haven't gotten a raise in line with inflation for the last 10 years. Right? And so what a lot of us don't realize is that our salaries are actually devalued compared to where our salaries were 6-7 years ago. And so you have no choice, perhaps, to engage in debt. And we're often criticized as an economy that engages too much in debt, and there's such a plethora of debt instruments that you can engage in. I mean, the list is endless in the amount of debt you can engage in. And we're criticized for not investing enough and not saving enough. And this really comes to a head when you get to retirement, because when you get to retirement, you're going to ask yourself the question, how much have I saved in the last 45 years? That's how much time you have to save for retirement, 40 to 45 years. And again, we look at the statistics, it shows that the majority of South Africans don't do nearly enough to solidify a dignified retirement for themselves. So for the majority of us, and when I say majority, I'm talking like 95% of us, South Africans get to retirement and are deemed to be financially dependent. It means you now have to downgrade your lifestyle. You have to get used to living on less than half your regular income. We become dependent on children and family members to get through the month, on government grants. And what this presentation is about empowering yourself so that you don't have to face a retirement like that. I want everyone not to be stressed about retirement once they get involved and start working in this business. And so out of all this negativity, as a business, Constantia saw the opportunity to create a division called DuePoint. We launched the DuePoint system almost 2 years ago, exactly, with a few aspirations in mind for the people in this business. So you might be thinking, well, I'm here to earn extra money, but for me, I want to go further than just putting extra money in the back pocket. I want to change, I want to create a paradigm shift. I want to allow people to think differently about money. Because the way we think about money currently is why we have our problems that we have today. So we can't just create extra money. Let's change the way we think about money. And I'm hoping to achieve that through this business at the same time. So the aspirations we have are for people to become debt-free as quickly as possible. Right? You're going to get fairly complicated about finance and say, oh, well, not all debt is bad if you leverage it and you're making more than what you're paying back. You can get complicated. But as a clear-cut, simple aspiration, get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. Don't accept the terms offered to you by the financial institution. Right? Don't say, oh, yes, let me buy the car for 10,000 Rand a month, which is over 7 years with a 40% residual. Don't accept those terms. Right? Get rid of that debt as quickly as possible. A 20-year bond, you can pay a 20-year bond off sooner. Right? It's got massive positive impact on your personal finance position if you do that. And I'm going to show you a couple of illustrations, some examples as how to do that. And the reason why we get rid of our debt as quickly as possible is that so we can start creating wealth as quickly as possible. That's really what we want to do here, right? That's the paradigm shift that's required. To create wealth, you can't owe other people money. So we can start thinking differently about money and start focusing on creating wealth through ownership of assets that appreciate, the ownership of assets that appreciate. Ultimately, you're going to be happier. And that's our third aspiration, just to change your circumstance so that you're not stressed at the end of the month, you're not stressed through December and January, like most of us were. Do you remember January? Or you're trying to block it out of your mind, right? People don't have a good January. I see it in the debit order runs that we do. Our debit order runs go like this through January and December. Good dunk. Right? People don't have money in their accounts. You don't even have 200, 300 Rand in your account. That's December and January. I don't want people to have that. And in the long term, I want you to have a retirement that you can look forward to. So those are the aspirations we have in our business. You can align yourselves to those aspirations, or you don't have to, but that's kind of the language that we speak in this business. Our guests here today, you have the opportunity to join DuePoint. you will contract with us. And once you're in contract with us, we call you wealth engineers, a very appropriate title. As wealth engineers, you only have one task, and that is to build what we call channels of distribution. I'll show you what one of those look like. But basically, it's you just introducing more people to the DuePoint system. And our online platform will facilitate the sale of products to those people that you introduce to us. And that's as basically as the business can be described. 2 sentences, very simple. The benefit for you is that you get to create additional income, but more importantly, the nature of the income that we produce is one of recurring nature. Some people refer to it as passive income. You always hear entrepreneurs talking about passive income, passive income. Very simply, I like my father's term for it. He says it's the ability to make money while you're sleeping. Did you know that was possible, to make money while you're sleeping? When he told me when I was 12 years old, I didn't know what he was talking about. Make money while you're sleeping. What is that? I only started to appreciate his sentiment much later in life. When I was probably about 10 years into running my own business, I realized, so now I was getting close to 30, maybe I was starting to get a bit tired of working so hard for active income and not passive income. I realized that the business that I'd spent really the best years of my life investing and sacrificing time into had created no intrinsic asset value. So I realized that I'd have to keep working in that business for the rest of my life. Right? It paid well, I guess. I paid everyone's salaries. I didn't have to retrench anyone in the 15 years that we ran our business. It was a decent, medium-sized business. But for me, the realization that you've got to work in this business every single minute of the day to produce income didn't appeal to me. And that's why I left the business. I walked away from it. I didn't make a cent out of it. Didn't sell my shares. I handed my shares over to my business partner. I said, there, take it. Next 20 years, I'm investing in creating recurring income. What is that? It's the ability to make money while you're sleeping. It's the ability to put effort and sacrifice and investment into something that pays you down the line, right? Our salaries aren't that. If you're involved in trade, you don't get that. Your salary gets paid on the amount of hours you work a month, right? You've got a contract. You don't get paid in March for February's work, right? If you're a hairdresser, a doctor, an anesthetist, an electrician, an engineer, you don't do any of that. You've got to create asset value, and this business allows you to create asset value. So the effort that you put into building your channel of distribution in the month of February can potentially pay you in the next 10 years, right? That's passive income. The power duplication. The way we've built the system is it allows you to leverage yourself. So to put it simply, it allows you to multiply yourself or duplicate yourself in this business. So I often ask the question, would you rather be a salesperson earning 100% of your commission, right? Or would you be the salesman's manager with 100 salesmen working for you, earning a little bit of commission off of every salesperson in the field? Do you know what the difference is? The difference is if you're earning only off your own commission, you can't duplicate yourself. You're stuck. You're stuck with 24 hours a day. There's nothing you can do to change that. But if you're the sales manager and you're earning commission from 100 salespeople, what stops you from creating a sales force that's now 200 people? Or 300 people, or 400 people, right? The system allows you to do something similar. The people that you bring into this business, that you introduce to the DuePoint system, you will start collaborating with those people. That's your ability to duplicate yourself, right? So if you bring 20 people into this business, each of you are investing an hour a day. Now suddenly you have 21 hours a day being invested into your channel of distribution that will in turn increase your recurring income. So these 2 points here, recurring income and power duplication, is your ability to free yourself of time constraint. There's great benefits to a business, flexi time. You get to decide how this business fits into your life. We'll have different set of circumstances. You can choose when you want to do this business. You can do it for 5 minutes a day, you can do it an hour a day, you can do it full time, you can do it on Sundays, you can do it on Friday nights. It's up to you. You decide what that looks like. There's no startup capital or registration fees in our business. We don't have boxes of product that you have to invest in just to get started in this business. So we make the business as risk-free as possible, becoming more accessible. No qualifications or experience required. I often ask if anyone has brought a CV with them tonight. Anyone bring their CVs? No? You don't care what I think, do you? Fortunately, we don't. I'm only interested in work ethic. We've got people from all kinds of backgrounds, right? Very diversified. People with matric, no matric. People with corporate experience, no corporate experience. People with degrees, no degrees. Housewives. Doesn't matter what background you come from, you can make this business work for you. At the same time, we actually contract you out of financial obligations. So maybe other people involved in financial services would appreciate this, but you will know to work in financial services is extremely onerous because of all the regulation we have to comply with. It is hectic, for lack of a better word, right? When the Phase Act came out in 2003, 80,000 financial advisors walked away from the industry. They walked away from it to go find other jobs. They said it's too much of a mission to work in this industry. Well, you don't have to worry about that. You get to enjoy all these wonderful benefits of being in financial services without that obligation. You get to build an asset. Now this, I'm hoping, will be the reason why you will spend time in this business. Because again, this is the antithesis of employment. You get to build an asset in this business, this channel of distribution, which you have legal ownership over. You've got legal tender over your channel of distribution that you're building. What does that mean? That means they're going to be paying you out a recurring income. The greater that recurring income gets, the greater the intrinsic value of that asset will become. When you retire from your day job, this business will carry on paying you beyond retirement because you can still carry on working this business. 60, 70, 80 years old, when you die, this business will still pay out your beneficiaries. You can pass this asset on in your estate. So it can go to your children or your spouse, whoever you leave the business to. You're building an asset that you have ownership over, right? So I think people will be happy to sacrifice time into building something that they know they own in terms of an asset that can build up, that can appreciate, that can build in value. There's no selling involved. So we've actually designed the system. We've taken that obligation of selling away from you. From our point of view, it's a regulatory decision. But from your point of view, it's a great benefit. Because who wants to go sell things on weekends to people that they know and don't know? Anyone enjoy doing that? Right? Maybe some people do. You get some star salesmen out there who love to do that thing. But it's a great benefit because we know for the majority of people, like 99% of people, are terrified of selling. They hate selling. They don't want to be involved in selling. Right? You don't have to sell in this business. All you're going to be doing is going out and connecting people to an opportunity that creates financial opportunity for them. So if I went up to two groups of people, to the one group of people I said, hey guys, I've got some insurance products. Are you interested? And to the other group of people I said, hey guys, I've got a financial opportunity for you that pays recurring income. You can build an asset that you actually own. Who do you think is going to be more interested? The latter, right? That's all we're going to be doing, connecting people to the opportunity that exists at DuePoint. But the nature of our products are financial in nature. This, again, is a benefit because we don't have tangible products. Like I said, we don't have boxes of product that you have to invest in buying. It doesn't take up space in your boot or your garage. We don't have product that expires, right? And so we make the products as convenient as possible. But your success in our business is very much predicated on your ability to build a channel of distribution. So it begins with you. That's you in the middle there. Picture yourself as the CEO of your channel of distribution, because that's really what you are. You're going to go out and connect other people to the opportunity if you're successful in that, and we've got a couple of people, your friends, colleagues, they might be strangers, family, they become wealth engineers and they take out one of our products. That is the beginning of your channel of distribution. Those people in turn will go out and do exactly the same thing as you're doing, because in their own right they want to build their own channels of distribution. Right? And so they'll connect other people, and that's how the power duplication starts to happen. You have this organic growth that takes place in your business, right? I'm hoping that these individuals that you bring in the beginning are quality people that you can depend on. That's why I call you the CEO. If you're the CEO, do you go out into the street, put a gazebo on the corner and say, anyone want to join my business? Anyone want to be my board of directors? Or do you go hand select your board of directors? You do, right? You go hand select your executives. You need to picture this business like that, because this behavior here, if you have great quality behavior and you're discerning in the channel that you're building at this stage, it filters into the rest of your channel. And if it filters into the rest of the channel, I promise you, you will have a sustainable business. Sustainable means you don't have to nurse your business constantly because you've got quality individuals that have been put in from the beginning. It empowers you later on to have a business that you can walk away from knowing that it's still going to pay you. Remember I said we're trying to build a business that pays you while you sleep. You could be in the position one day where you walk away from your day job and decide to take a 3-month holiday. Can anyone take a 3-month holiday now? Okay? Not likely, right? Unless you've been retrenched. Then you can take a holiday as long as you like. We just don't have that as an option. It doesn't come part of the employment package that so many of us are subjected to. We don't have that freedom, that liberation. And so my hope is that you'll build a sustainable business with the hope that one day you'll have a business that will pay you every month that you can depend on without the risk of retrenchment, retirement, all of these things attached to employment. So that's what a channel of distribution looks like. This is our disclaimer slide. So you might be wondering why we've got a picture of ballerina's feet up on our disclaimer slide or our warning slide. Because I think people walk into the business, they've romanticized the notion of entrepreneurship. Right? You look around at successful entrepreneurs and you only see the outside. You see the glossy picture of what entrepreneurship looks like, especially if they're successful. So I've got a very successful entrepreneur friend who's in network infrastructure, so he puts all the network cables in for businesses and stuff, and he barely got through school. I mean, he was that kid. He was the kid that was going to bring the standard down of the matric group, right? That was him. And he was just amazing at business when he got out of school, even though academically he wasn't. I bumped into him at gym across the road here, and he's busy buying his fourth 911 Porsche. Right? His fourth one, the new 4-liter GT3. What is that, a 4 million rand car? And I think to myself, now how did he get it right? And he barely passed school, and here I am still fighting for it, right? And so we look at entrepreneurship like we look at this ballerina's foot, all laced up and dressed in the ballet pump. Because if you've got a state theater, that's what you see. But if you want to be a professional dancer that makes it to the state theater, you take that ballet pump off, that is what you see underneath. That's what's behind successful entrepreneurship. Blood, sweat, and tears. And so those of you who have been invited to this presentation this evening, I hope that you don't expect to get rich quickly. Right? Because we're not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's an authentic entrepreneurial opportunity. We're a business that's been around for 70 years. We understand what it takes. Right? And it's our invitation to you to collaborate with us to both of our successes. Right? So don't be misled by people promising you success easily or quickly. It does not exist. It doesn't exist. All right, so like any traditional insurance company, we've got products. Our products are financial, as I said before. We've got 3 products for you to consider. So you can consider taking out one product or all 3 products. Their benefit is all financial in nature. The first product is called Access Wealth. It is an investment product. It is 324 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand gets invested into a tax-free investment fund that sits with Sanlam. And on top of that, we give you some insurance. So if you have this investment product, we also give you 120,000 Rand personal accident cover with our Access Wealth plan. And this investment is a no restriction, no delay product. That just means that you can draw your investment out at any stage. It's not a notice deposit, right? You don't have to give us 30 days or 60 days notice. It takes about 5 days to take your investment out. So this is Access Wealth. The second product is Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is strictly an insurance product, so it's only insurance. It's $299 a month, but this time you get 1.2 million rands worth of personal accident cover. Now you'll notice on this product and the previous product, our insurance is called personal accident cover. I don't say it's funeral cover. I don't say it's life insurance, right? Don't get confused by those 3. So life insurance and funeral cover, they profile you from a health risk point of view, right? Do we all understand that? So if you're 70 years old and you're diabetic, do you think you're going to get life insurance? Right? Probably not. So the beauty of our products, because it's personal accident cover, we don't profile your risk. We can offer this product to anyone over the age of 18. You can be 70, 80, 90 years old. You can be diabetic. You can have cancer. It doesn't matter what your health status is. We can offer this product to everybody. The premium remains the same, and the amount of cover that you receive remains the same, right? So it's a very unique product. You'll really struggle. I don't think you'll actually find a product that offers just personal accident cover to people. So it becomes accessible to everybody, this product. The third product is called Wealth Points. It's 299 Rand a month, and what Wealth Points aims to do is save us money on the money that we spend every single month anyway. So we're spending money on data, maybe cars, groceries. There's a whole long list that you have with regards to your cost of living list. If you look at the partners that we have there, we cover a lot of those aspects. So I bet you spend money with at least one of these companies we've partnered with. So for the 299 Rand a month, you get to share in the discounts that we've negotiated with the companies that you see listed here. So for example, always on Wi-Fi data, if you go ask them for a gig of data, the normal person, the man in the street, they would charge them 100 Rand for a gig of data at Always On. Through the Wealth Points program, as a member of this, you get a gig of data for 37 Rand, right? So you see the discount that's available to Wealth Points members. So the discounts vary with all the partners. It's different for every single one. But we are adding partners to this product all the time. So we've got a brand new partner that we announced 2 weeks ago. It's Jaguar Land Rover Santon. So they will be giving us, or at least our Wealth Points members, the best deals, the best prices, and the best service that they can nationwide. So it doesn't matter where you are in the country. You can call these guys up. They will find new or pre-owned cars for you and make sure that you have the best deal possibly available. Because I expect everyone here to be buying Range Rovers very soon. Anyone looking for a Range Rover? Not right now, right? But soon. But soon. There we go. Okay, so like I said, we're adding new Wealth Points partners all the time. Very briefly, to explain our business model in comparison to typical insurance companies. So a company like Prime Meridian Direct down the road is a typical insurance company. They spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising, right? A fortune. That is the mass of their budget goes towards advertising. That's the only way they're able to grow and keep business. At DuePoint, we don't do any advertising. So you won't see a DuePoint logo outside of this building. We depend on you guys to go out and tell people about the DuePoint opportunity. And so we don't need to spend the billions that the insurance industry spends every year on advertising. We can take that portion of our budget and attribute it to the returns and rewards program to the benefit of our wealth engineers. And that's basically how this business model works. It's very straightforward. So to speak about those two programs, we've got the returns program and the rewards program. These are the two ways you can earn and benefit as a wealth engineer. So we start with the returns program. The returns program is your ability to make the recurring income. So this is the most important part of this business. This is why you're here this evening. We pay 27.50 Rand for every product that you have in your channel, right? So remember the first 5 individuals you introduced to your business? These people, their product lies on your first point. In relation to you, that product is 1 point away from you. And on your first point, we pay double the 27.50 Rand. We pay you 55 Rand for every product on your first point every month. Remember, it's recurring income. Because next month, you're going to make it again. And in March, April, you're going to make it again, right? That's the recurring income, the ability to make money while you're sleeping. Those people are going to start building their channels in their own stead, right? That product lies on your second point. So it's 2 points away from you. And we pay you again 55 Rand for every product every month. And then as the product gets further and further away from you, you see the multiplier starts to drop. By the time you got product on your 8th point, you're being paid 4% of the 27.50 Rand on the 8th point, but we don't limit you at point 8. So you will build your business beyond point 8. Know that you can potentially earn beyond point 8, right? We don't limit you on how big your channel can get at DuePoint. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. We've already got wealth engineers after 24 months on point 30 in their businesses, right? So there's absolutely no limitation. So this is the mechanics of the returns. Very straightforward. Typically people want to know how much money they can earn after a certain amount of time. So they understand the mechanics, the 55 Rand per product, but how much money do people earn in this business? Is it worth my while? So we built this thing called the Path to Success. It is a projection over the next 5 years in this business, right? That's a long time. Can you picture yourself 5 years from now? Anyone got a 5-year plan? No one's ever got a 5-year plan, right? That's only something you read in management books. But I'm going to map out a 5-year plan for you. So this path to success is based on a premise. We call it the 3+2 growth formula. It assumes in your first month as a wealth engineer, you can bring 3 people into this business, and every consecutive month thereafter, you bring in another 2, right? So in February, you bring in 3. March, you bring in 2. April, another 2, May, another 2, and you keep bringing 2 into perpetuity for the next 5 years, you can expect to earn these kind of numbers. So after 6 months, you could be earning 2,500 Rand a month after 6 months of work here at DuePoint. Who's bitterly disappointed by that number? I don't see anyone getting ready to leave, so you can't be too disappointed. Maybe you're waiting for the number to get bigger, right? But this is where I like to illustrate my example of thinking differently about money. Because very easily you can look at 2,500 Rand as a consumer, not as an investor, as a spender, and go, what can I spend 2,500 Rand on? Is it really worth it? Right? But I know that the majority of people are indebted. Right? Remember our first aspiration, get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. What happens if we took the 2,500 Rand and decided to pay our debt off faster? So here's an example of someone with a 1 million Rand bond. At prime plus 2, they're paying back the bank about 11,500 rand a month for the next 20 years, right? Anyone got a lovely thing called a bond? So if you engage in a bond now at my age, at 40, at the age of 60, I make my last installment. Right? 20 years of 11,500 rand every single month. When I turn 60, I make my last installment. For the first time, I'm a homeowner as I retire from work. Right? But at 40, I joined DuePoint, and 6 months later, I'm earning this measly 2,500 rand. Rob says, pay your debt off faster, so I decide to put the 2,500 rand into my bond as an additional payment. I will pay that bond off by the age of 51. 11 and a half years instead of 20 years. So what's the benefit of that? The benefit of that is that it'll save you nearly 1 million rand in repayments to the bank. Just by paying your debt off faster, you save yourself nearly 1 million rand. At month 12, you're earning in excess of 100,000 rand in annual recurring income. Anyone get a 100,000 rand bonus for Christmas? No one? How about I give you a 100,000 rand check every year? In 12 months' time. You keep going. At 24 months, 30,000 a month. That's nearly 400,000 rand a year. At the 36-month mark, nearly 50,000 rand a month. You see how quickly that escalated? Right? We're ready to walk out at 2,500 rand, and now suddenly we're at 50,000 a month. At the 30-month mark, you're making about 36,000 rand. If you put that 36,000 rand as an additional payment into a 5 million rand bond, you'll pay that house off in less than 7 years. Become a homeowner at the age of 47. I could buy a second house, pay that off at 54, buy a third house and pay that off at 61. You've got to make the decision 20 years before you get to enjoy the fruits. The decision we always have to argue ourselves about is at this point, I could be buying myself a 2 million rand car and finance that instead. Wouldn't you like to drive a Porsche in 30 months' time? Or one of those big Mercedes-Benzes or a Range Rover? Or would you rather pay your bond off faster? You look better in the Porsche, right? That's why it's a difficult decision, right? You're all sitting there going, oh, it's just theoretical, right? But if I gave you 36,000 a month, I bet you'd be thinking about a 2 million rand car. I bet you. You keep going. After 48 months, we're close to 70,000 rand a month. And after 60 months, you're making for yourself about 1 million rand in annual recurring income. Anyone believe me that in 5 years' time you could be making 1 million rand in annual recurring income? You don't even believe it, right? Well, maybe you're skeptical. I'm naturally a skeptic, right? I would be saying, this is just theory. That's theoretical. The accountants came up with a growth model. True. The growth model was based on 3 plus 2, remember? Bringing 2 people into this business every single month. You can do a lot less than that. You can become a wealth engineer, do 0 plus 0 every month. But you could do more than 3 plus 2. And we showcase wealth engineers that have been in this business. Some are doing less than 3 plus 2. Some are doing more than 3 plus 2. Right? So I know what's possible in this business. It's about getting you guys to believe. Yeah, we've got Natasha Weldrick. She's from PE. Single mother of 3 kids. I don't know how you do that. I've got 2 kids with a mom and a helper, and I still struggle. Right? She joined a year ago. She's at rank 5. She's earning nearly 10,000 rand a month already. In her second month, she was at 2,500 rand a month. In her third month, she was at 3,800 rand a month. So she was outperforming. At the beginning, she was outperforming 3 plus 2 in a massive way. Last month alone, you want to talk about leverage and duplicating yourself? Last month alone, her channel grew by 92 people. That's leverage. She didn't bring all 92 in. The rest of her channel brought in 92 people. Imagine when your business is growing by 100 every single month and you're not doing any of it. That's the leverage. 23 apps in her first 42 days. She got 23 people to join this business on her own personal activity in the space of 42 days. Here we've got Ray and Rumi, joined in April last year. Over 10,000 rand a month already. They earned the most wealth quests. I'll show you what a wealth quest is a little later. So they earned, I think, 4 wealth quests. Those are iPhones, iPads, TVs, data. 92 channel growth last month alone, so same as Natasha. They are averaging 12 apps a month. So not 3 plus 2, they're doing 12 plus 12. Where do you think they're going to be in 60 months' time? Yeah, we've got Shadrach Twala. He's from KZN, sitting at over 12,000 a month. He also joined in April. 213 personal apps in the space of 10 months. Work that one out. 33 apps last month alone. His personal activity, right? So we look at Natasha and Ray and Rumi's business. They did 90 in their entire channel. This gentleman did 33 on his own, and conquered 3 wealth quests, right? So I know people can do it. We've got thousands of wealth engineers joining this business every single month. Everybody is different. Everyone's earning different recurring income. Everyone's different, growing at a different pace. You decide what you want in this business. I've put it on the table. It's on the table. Everyone's welcome to come grab what they want off the table. It's your decision. I can't force you to think about this business when you wake up in the morning. Right? That's where it ends. So decide what you want and figure out how to get there. So what's the decision we need to make? I like to sum it up. Remember the ballerina slide? We like to romanticize what entrepreneurship looks like. Elon Musk summed it up very nicely for me. He said, people romanticize entrepreneurship. They don't realize that there's a downside to entrepreneurship. So the decision really is that are you willing to endure the downside of DuePoint? I didn't know there was a downside to DuePoint. Oh. As a presenter, should I be telling you there's a downside to DuePoint? It's the hard work. It's on the table for you to grab. You need to decide, is it worth your time for what you've seen up on screen? And you've only seen half of it so far, right? Joining this business is very straightforward. Read our code of conduct first is very important. It's our contract with you that defines what you can and cannot do as a wealth engineer. Registering as a wealth engineer, you do it online. So go to our website, click on the big blue apply button. You become a wealth engineer in about 7 minutes. It's done. Complete our online training, right? This is your intent to educate yourself about this business. How do I build a channel of distribution? What is the best way to go about it? How do I know exactly what's happening in this business, what the business is all about? It's explained all in the training videos that we've made available for you. Set goals for yourself. Decide what if you don't set a goal for yourself, you can never keep yourself accountable to where you want to go. So it actually takes courage. You've got to be vulnerable to set a goal. That's why so few people set goals for themselves, right? And goal has to have a deadline. Prepare a plan, a strategy to get to that goal. And the basic activity of speaking to people. If you are not speaking to people, you're not doing this business. We can build this business in any fashion, right? We've made it as convenient, as accessible as possible. But if you're not speaking to somebody, you're not doing the business. Goes without saying. Then you're part of the 0+0 club. You're not going anywhere. Simple activity. We've got merchandise. This is to help you, to empower you in building your channel of distribution faster. Please consider getting business cards. What does professional business look like? It looks like something that starts with business cards, right? You cannot conduct business professionally if you don't have business cards. I'm sorry. You think you might be able to? I'm telling you now, you cannot. Right? It becomes part of the professional package. The way you behave, the way you dress, the way you look, all these things. Business cards plays a part of that. Please consider buying the business cards. USB sticks, all our videos are on there. We've got all the other merchandise on display in the merchandise cabinet. The pricing's on the counter, right? This is to help you in your business. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is where all the training resides, all our intro presentations. Everything's there. We've got 500 videos sitting on this YouTube channel, right? A wealth of knowledge waiting for you. Download the mobile app. It runs on Android and Apple devices. It is your business tool. The mobile app will tell you exactly what's happening in real time in your business. You will wake up in the morning at 6 a.m. It'll tell you whether you made money while you were sleeping. Because you'll see your channel would have grown. Natasha, if she woke up a month later, she would have looked and said, oh, my business grew by 100 people this month. That's great, right? So download the mobile app. Update your profile photo on there. Some don'ts that we need to highlight. You need resources to operate in this business. Unfortunately, it was not a charity business. You need the resources. If you cannot afford one of our products, the business is not likely for you. The business is not designed to burden the burdened, right? People come to us and say, oh, why can't we get unemployed people to join this business? Because you need resources to build this business. We're trying to empower people that have the resources, and perhaps we can then empower the people that need the help. If you don't have access or can't afford data, so you need access to the internet. Everything that we do here is online. If you struggle with transport, you're going to struggle with the business, because even though we have invested so heavily in technology, this is still a relationship business. Remember, I'm the CEO. I'm building my board of executives, my board of directors. I have personal relationship with each one of those people. It is going to require access to transport. You're going to meet with those people. Those are the people you're going to be prospecting. Don't ever do a DuePoint application on behalf of somebody else. That is illegal. It's fraudulent, right? So it's black and white. There's no argument around it. You cannot do applications on behalf of somebody else. You can assist someone with their application, but everyone has to do their own. Don't add direct family members that live in your household into your channel. So if you've got family that live with you, they can't be in your channel. They can be in someone else's channel, no problem. If you've got family members that have left your house, they can be in your channel, right? Is that clear? Don't start your own DuePoint Facebook page. This is a constant pain I have to deal with on a daily basis. These people are breaking FSB phase regulation. They're breaking the Phase Act, right? It puts us at risk, and so we have to manage it as best we can. And it's a constant pain. And typically, the people that do this are the lazy people. They think they can run business and be successful in this business by sitting at home, advertising DuePoint and our products and job opportunities on Facebook classified pages. Or they start their own Facebook page, right? None of our successful wealth engineers have got a Facebook page. That should tell you something. So don't bother doing it. It doesn't work anyway. It's not there's no shortcut to this business. Don't send lead or prospects to our offices unattended or anywhere unattended. It speaks to, again, professional behavior required that you need to, the way you conduct yourself in this business. The problem arose when we had people coming into, and we still do, we've got people coming in to the offices saying, oh, I met Bob on Facebook. He said, if I just come to the head office, then Rob or Brendan will take care of me. Is that how you build your board of directors? Right? Treat every person that you prospect with dignity and be professional about it. You don't know who you're potentially bringing into your business. We've got many, many stories of people bringing people that they've met, strangers, into the business. They treated them properly, and the people have shone. Right? They're stars. You cannot predict who you're bringing into your business. On the other side of it, we go, oh, if I can only bring this person in. They are amazing. They've got the gift of the gab. They know so many people. They bring them in. The person does nothing. Right? You can't predict. So treat everyone the same. So our wealth quest. So these are short-term incentives or challenges that we issue to our wealth engineers. They are different every single month, right? So February's one is about to run out. The March one will be announced at 7 a.m. on the 1st of March. So look out this week for that email. February's is called the Triple Lightning Qualifier. We challenge you to bring 3 new wealth engineers into your business. And if you can help qualify each of those 3 people, which means they have to find 3 people each. So in total, that equates to about 12 people in your channel. If all of those people join your business in February and pay their debit orders successfully in February, you get to choose between an iPhone 5S, an iPad, a smart LED TV that's 49-inch, and we'll give you 3,000 XP by the 20th of March. Right? So that's our short-term incentive for February. 1st of March, there will be a new incentive available for everybody, just to get you started in this business. The second way to earn, so remember I said there were 2 ways. The returns program, that creates recurring income, and this is our rewards program. So the rewards program rewards you for the success you have in our business. When you start out as a new wealth engineer, you will start engaging in typical wealth engineer behavior, which is coming to presentations, bringing guests with you. You could do home presentations. You'll log into your app. You'll be doing all these different things. And when you do these things, we award you with something called XP, stands for Experience Points. It indicates to us how active you are as a wealth engineer. And when you start collecting more and more of this XP and your channel starts to grow at the same time, we reward you along the way. So if you start out this evening, you'll be rank 0, right? Rank 0 doesn't mean anything. You're not even on the slide. But if you earn 1,000 XP and your channel grows to 4 products in your qualified channel, you become rank 1 and we give you a 55 Rand once-off reward. Once-off, right? It's not recurring. It's just a once-off when you hit rank 1. So I always say to everybody, when you get to rank 1, you take that 55 Rand, you go buy a big slice of cake, and you celebrate early success. Because if you can get to rank 1, you can get to rank 20. The rank 20s are doing the same thing the rank 1s are. You're speaking to people, right? And so you can get to any rank if you get to rank 1. And the more you rank up, the rewards get bigger. There's a 20,000 Rand check waiting for you, a 50,000 Rand check. We give tools to our wealth engineers that help them build their channels faster and more effectively. Yeah, Patrick and Pumi at rank 5. All our rank 5s get a Lightning USB drive. It's got all our videos on there, and that little device can plug into any other device. Phones, tablets, laptops, computers, TVs, whatever. It can plug into anything. So Patrick and Pumi can show the DuePoint opportunity regardless of what device they have around them. At rank 7, we spent 12,500 Rand getting business cards manufactured for you personally. 12,500 Rand. Think about that. When last did you hear about 12,500 Rand for business cards? These signs you see on the street, 250 Rand for 500, right? 12,500 Rand. It's because there's no ink on these cards. The sides, the logo, are all gilded and foiled in gold, real gold. Business cards are 4 times thicker. You can go look at them in the merchandise cabinet. Available only at rank 7. Because this business is reliant on credibility. When you put a 12,500 Rand business card on the table, I promise you everybody sitting on the other side of the table is going to take note regardless of what you told them before. Because your business card costs about 50 times more than the one they've got, right? These are tools to help you build your business more effectively. At rank 9, this is actually our first recurring reward. So at rank 9, you get to enjoy this reward with your family every single year. This is a family reward. Well, everything's a family reward, right? If you're making money, it's for the family. I hope you share it with your family if you start making money. But this is a family international conference that we hold once a year. We fly you and your family business class to our international conference, which is a 5-star luxury resort for 7 days, all expenses paid trip. When I say all expenses paid trip, I mean you can forget your wallet at home and you won't realize it. The mini bar is restocked every day, and it's for free every day. Right? This year, all the kids were running from the hotel room to hotel room saying, "Sir, can we come get your sweets at your mini bar if you haven't finished them?" Because there were chocolates in the mini bar constantly being restocked. So we've documented our last rank 9 trip. Take a look. This is available for everybody in the room.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
So imagine enjoying that every single year for the rest of your life with your family. Half the wealth engineers got to rank 9 before 12 months. One gentleman did it in 5 months. It's completely up to you to decide how quickly you want to get to rank 9. At rank 10, you get a 50,000 Rand check. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 and buy you a brand new car. No DuePoint sticker on the side, no T's and C's, no give it back after 6 months, no share it with another wealth engineer. We buy the car cash in your name, you drive it off the parking lot floor. It's yours. This is rank 11 of our rewards program. The rewards table goes up to rank 28. What happens at 28? You only know if you get there, right? Get to rank 1, you can get to any rank in this business. We don't reset you to 0 in this business. You don't have to start again at the end of every year. If you don't get to rank 9 by the end of this year, you keep going. You get to rank 9 in 2019 or 2020. It is waiting for you. Right? The rewards program is waiting for you. There is absolutely no rush. So that's our rewards program. Guys, I thank you for your time. I remind you, we've got 2018 ahead of us. I suspect the economy is not going to be much different to what it's been for the last 5, 10 years. Right? The only difference is, what are you going to do differently this year? So I invite you to come collaborate with us. I will support you the entire way in this business. Right? A little bit of a learning curve, and it's a basic business. You just need to speak to somebody. That's all you need to do. Connect people with the business. I will do all the work. Myself and Brendan, we will do everything for you. You just connect people to the opportunity, and the rest gets done for you. So I invite you to come speak to me afterwards if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful week. And for those wealth engineers, watch out for 1st of March's new Wealth Quest. All right. Thanks so much.